Mike's. Great episode.
Sensation.
Love to talk about some of the latest,
Nigga, please.
some of the classic things going around the world. Whether it be sports, whether it be hip hop, anything. World views, relationships, money. Just wanna know who's Mike got crushed. Who's the dominant dog? Who's resulting in the win? Crush Mike's weekly. Check this out.
It's your girl Young.
I think you need
Tap the money scheme. Dream.
Yes,
We got
yes.
Dream.
We are back in the building.
Can't see it, feel like you play.
Another great episode of Crush Mike's podcast. We're here with the greatest people on earth. We are here with the greatest people on earth. I am one of your hosts, Mr. Korey Buckets, in the building as always, aka we here. Here's what we do. Miss Lamonda Young, aka Mega Money, aka Great Takes, aka she's everywhere you want to be in every state. Anything you want to know, Lamonda, you just can't. You just can't.
Ski-wee.
Come on, man. Oh, my great people. How you doing, Lamonda?
I am good and trying to not let this heat drive me crazy, but yeah, I'm doing wonderful on this here Sunday.
He cooking us all up. He cooking us all up. He cooking us all up. Our New York City resident, aka Mr. Knickerbocker himself. He loved the Knicks when it wasn't cool and nobody was talking about him. That was his green name. He was everywhere. He knows every rhyme, every fact that matters. AKA Encyclopedia Brown, Mr. Jesse Brown himself.
Who's that? Brad.
So
That's what's going on, my brother.
just taking it day by day and hope everyone's living their dreams.
Listen, man. Listen. You are always a funny guy. And you always have to ratchet out. It just never stops.
I didn't say my dreams was their dreams.
It never stops with you. We gotta get live. We gotta get live for the people, man. Without further ado, let's get it cracking. So this one is near and dear, especially me and Lamonda. Had our blood boiling. She sent me the topic, and I had been seeing it, and I was like, until she sent it to me, I was like, as a matter of fact, when she sent it, I was like, I don't think that's true. This has been going on around social media. I don't think that's true. So she made me actually look it up. And as soon as I went on social media, it said right away, this is a fact, not fiction. This is not a post from some random person on Instagram, Threads, whatever. It's a fact. Jay-Z has sent a cease and desist, to Druski for him to stop posting anything that has to do with his sketches on the 2026 BET Awards, which we all thought were unbelievably hilarious. Lamonda, what were you thinking when that post came across your eyes on social media? What was the first thing that popped into your mind?
I was thinking like I was on punk. Like I thought execution was gonna jump out on me, like for real, like. And so when I sent it to you, I'm like, nah. So that's what made me start to dig it too. And so I typed it in, and then the source, if the source say it, I mean that's the stamp, the final stamp. I was like, I cannot believe he really is this. Like he really is making like send this man a cease and desist. Like this is comedy. He's not the first person that then made fun of you, my brother. This is like you have people imitating your voice and everything. But when he come over there and do a spoof, and then you want to send him a cease and desist because you feeling some type of way, like you're not different than anybody else. I mean, this is comedy. Not, I mean, it's this right here just shows you how the world is. I can't even say evolving. It's just like it's at the it's the world is at a standstill. If you really, if you're taking the life out of comedy, you should have known. You should have known. We've been seeing you with wigs and free forming dreads for years, and then you decide to comb them out, and then come and go to the root picnic with your hair in an unbelievably good healthy afro, and think nobody was gonna make fun of you thinking it's a wig. Like, make it make this is not making sense to me. I don't understand it, and I don't get it.
Oh my God, Lamonda let the rugged go. She's
I
with
like
wigs and a healthy
it can,
afro.
like you can't even like everything Dame has been saying. Everybody be thinking he just wilding and just talking stuff. Now you gotta believe him. You got to believe him now.
Oh man, you were cooking. Oh man, you were cooking with grease. Oh my gosh, that Dame point was poignant. When I tell you that Dame point was poignant, even though we don't like the what's the song? Ooh P. Even though we don't like that,
Yeah.
you gotta listen to Dame a little bit after
Hmm.
seeing this cease and desist. Like, oh man, listen, that was impressive. I gotta say those takes were amazing, simply amazing. Jesse, who's next? Brown. What did you think about it? Because we always know you're gonna take in between the reckless and liberal standpoint, more reckless. What did you think about it, Jess?
I thought Druski nailed it. I haven't laughed that hard in a minute. Everything was spot on, especially the cadence. Like Ari Spears said, anyone can do a voice, but to nail the cadence, that's what separates.
Right.
As far as legal stuff goes, I heard this was actually all on Mrs. Carter and her legal team.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Lord,
What?
that just make it even worse.
Yeah, well, she's got the premium hair care product line coming out, Sacred. They created a 7-minute documentary entitled The Blueprint, and the subject being Jay combing out his locks into a full afro using the use of Sacred products. I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman.
Listen, if I find out that Beyonce Knowles had a part in this legals, if she spearheaded it, I am cooking her soul.
Yeah, we're gonna cook her too.
This is ridiculous. You kicked all the girls out of freaking Destiny Child. You want
Destiny
to go
Child.
solo like Michael, like, but nobody was jealous of you. You didn't have a what's the boy name that was married to Hazel Gordy? You didn't
Jermaine.
yeah you didn't have one of those.
Yeah.
You were just out here hating. You hated on Solange. You didn't let Solange get her game off. You tried
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that A. Marie didn't get one thing off. I heard
One
you trying
thing
to
on.
steal that song. You know, you killed the one girl, Carrie Hilson. Kills her career. Like,
Yeah.
Beyonce, this is disgusting. And now the comedian can't get his jokes off. The sketch
Yeah,
comedian.
and I think she's I don't know if she's still rocking with Chloe and Halle or not, but yeah, like she helped jumpstart their career, and then all of a sudden like pushed them into it to the side, like she was done like toys. I'm done playing with you. I'm just gonna send you over here. Now they run around like they might as well be a part of the Toy Story movie.
Oh
She
my,
don't want to play with them no more.
oh my God. Oh.
And that's why I personally stay with Black Magic hairspray to this day. All sponsors welcome. Trust Mics, we're available, baby. DM.
Oh my God, Jess, I didn't stay with the black magic. Oh, you are
Right.
ridiculous.
Oh
Listen,
my God.
man, Beehive. Listen, man, I'm the bee catcher if it comes down to it because I don't want to hear no smoke from y'all, man. Right is right and wrong is
Wrong is
wrong.
wrong.
When you
Yeah.
stopping that man from getting his money and all he doing is honest jokes, we've just gotten too far, as Lamonda says, as society. We've gotten way too sensitive when you just can't crack jokes and leave it alone. He even broke the minister's skit out again. You didn't see the Baptist ministers back up in uprising like, oh my God, he
Yeah,
did it again.
yeah.
Ban
And
Druski.
and then on top of that, like they feel some type of way, but like he's just imitating what he sees these mega churches doing.
You were already doing this.
Yeah, you were already making, you already had those churches in
It's just ridiculous, guys. I just don't understand where we at as a society that we can't just move on, laugh, and share it. And if anything, that should give you more light. Like, there's a public of kids that have no idea who Jay-Z is for real.
right.
And this will make them say, well, who's the Afro guy? Why is that a particular generation of people beholden to him and protecting him in his music? That'll make them want to go actually listen to it, I would think.
Yeah,
Not you being sensitive. Oh, Jay-Z. Gil's Arena's podcast has been canceled. NBA former superstar, megastar, aka Hibachi, Washington Wizards. Great. It was hosted, sponsored by Underdog Betting. Apparently, they fired the entire cast, and demands have been were placed upon by the sponsors. And it's sad because I saw a podcast with somebody saying that they went from doing like almost like 80 million viewers at one point to like 29 with the new format, the arena, and all that nonsense that they were doing, to now you hear about them canceling Gil's Arena, period. What did you hear about that, Lamonda? What do you think about that?
Well, I guess it all transpired after Josiah Johnson went on, quit on live on air. So once he quit, I guess Underdog Media decided to fire the whole cast, or whatever. But I guess now Gil will be taking. He's still going to keep the name Gil Arena, but he's just moving it into under his um independent owned podcast now, since all that transpired.
So they still gonna do it.
Yeah, he's still gonna keep it, but it's gonna be moved independently under him and under his studio instead of being under Underdog Media.
Yeah, because I'm like, how they cancel something that's in his house?
Yeah.
The studio is in his house. If a lot of people don't know that, like that is literally in his house.
So I guess it's whatever Underdog. Well, I guess he, like all those when you get all those sponsors and stuff like that. I guess Underdog was the biggest sponsor of the podcast. So and yeah, so all of that. But like I seen I listened to a couple of episodes of the podcast. And I mean, I got a couple laughs off of it too. But it's just a simple fact, like he was kind of controversial when he was playing for the Wizards, or basically all them pistols and stuff that that they he being Pistol Pete out here. So
Oh, pistol.
Pistol Pete. But yeah, but like I hope he can pull it back all together and continue giving his point of views in the games and all that kind of stuff like that. So I hope it work out for him in the end.
Listen, man, Gil's Arena is a highly controversial podcast. They've had quite a few guests on there that were hilarious. Gil's takes are usually spot on, if not just ridiculous, just for color commentary. So it is definitely a travesty. Jess, what you think about the whole scenario with Gil's Arena?
Well, he used to be Agent Zero. Now apparently he's Agent 50% because he sold 50% of the stake to Underdog. And once they have control, they're a gambling site. House always wins. So they slashed him, and then they axed the rest of the cast. And that's why it's just going to be called the Arena. But once Gil's contract expires, he retains the rights, just like Monda said, to having Gil's Arena, and he can do whatever he wants going forward. But you have to be aware of who you're getting involved with, because whatever their background is, their future may be completely conflicting from what your future plans are. as
Facts,
another
Most
example of
definitely.
that.
facts. And I knew, listen, man, I knew it was trouble in paradise when I seen old scoop ball Skip Bayless on there. When I
Oh
seen they
man.
got Skip Bayless on there talking football, I'm like, this podcast, they talk about basketball
97.
97% of the
Mhm.
time. For you to try to be thirsty and then put in an element of football in there where you're not having any of the primetime people that people got used to seeing, Rashard McCants, aka Cemetery Larry,
Yeah.
Swaggy P, Brandon Jennings, Kenyon Martin. When you start moving away from the people who are bringing the ratings in, Skip got fired. Like Skip,
Yeah.
he can't even carry his own podcast. So
Most definitely.
what made them say, you know what, we gonna put this in the audacity of them to have it in his house and sit there and and fire you fired the dude in his
Fire.
own house? How is
Right.
that possible? Underdog is disgusting. I'm sorry. Like I I want Crush Mics to get a great sponsor as well, but Underdog, we don't want no parts
We
of
don't
that.
want them perfect.
We don't want no parts of that. We don't want
They give him
8% nothing. And it's
yes.
sad because with Cam and Mace, I was thinking that Underdog was really good partners when I saw what they were doing with Cam and Mace,
Yeah.
and then you see you Gil's Arena was first, and then you see Cam and Mace. I was like, oh yeah, Underdog is. So to see this, it was disheartening, man.
Yeah.
It was disheartening because they have a really talented staff of people there that I think was organic, and to come in there and shake that up and try to be greedy. Like you don't mess with the formula.
Formula. Nope.
It was 100 pure dope. Y'all busted down to 5%. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
how you do that? What you do to the blue magic? It's
Right.
rainbow
Right.
magic now.
Speaking
Right.
of, the only thing that's be shooken up is this can of black magic. It solves all your needs.
It's so
Okay.
it's so ridiculous. The
Yeah.
black magic bandit.
Like underdog is really giving me janky promoters vibes. Like Ice Cube and Mike S. Janky promoters.
Thank you
Here
for
they
one
go.
was
Here they
underdog
go.
underhanded.
Yes, you think you're gonna get checked in at the West End and you're going to the hood, a Motel 6.
Right. They was top flight security of the world, Craig.
Right.
World. Listen, man. Listen, man. The outspoken Jaylen Brown has been traded from the Boston Celtics to the Philadelphia 76ers. Philadelphia. So, a lot of people, here. We can't figure it out because Jaylen Brown was the finals MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Within the people who got votes for MVP this year, he was in the top 6.
Mm-hmm.
How do you trade Jaylen Brown, not Derek White, not Peyton Pritchard, not Jason Tatum? How do you trade Jaylen Brown? And speculations are saying because Jaylen Brown is too controversial.
Okay.
He's not the guy that's going to just shut up and jam. Boston doesn't like uppity Negroes.
Most definitely.
What do you think about Jaylen Brown, the superstar? Not even the superstar being traded to Philadelphia like some common guy for respect to PG-13. He's not what he used to be. He's taking steroids and everything. Podcast P. He just needs to stay on the podcast now.
Yeah.
What do you think about the whole situation, Lamonda?
Um, it's just like you said, like Boston. You know, we all know that Boston is up with when it comes to race. You know, Boston is up there. But it's the simple fact that he was using his voice to try to advocate himself, and they didn't like it. But the thing that I can't understand is like when Jason Tatum tore his Achilles and was out, Jaylen Brown held down the team.
Right.
He held down the team, even though he still like he still was averaging like 17.9 points when both him and Jason when him and Jason was on the floor. But when Jason got hurt, like he was out there busting ass. He was getting 28 or more every game. So I'm not understanding. And then what what I seen is that basically like I guess him and the organization, I guess they like you said, he was outspoken, he was advocating for himself, but also I guess the organization felt like he felt like him and the organization communication wasn't what it needed to be. Like he voiced his opinions, and I guess you know how that goes. It goes in one ear and out the other. But again, I feel like the Celtics traded him because when um he was expected to get 185 million over 3 seasons. So that could have been a factor. And then on top of that, the Celtics was pursuing Giannis to come to Boston. When Giannis did what he did and went to I believe Miami.
Yep.
Then I guess that's when the organization was like, okay, since we didn't get who we wanted, we're gonna go ahead and move this brother somewhere else to free up so we don't have to guarantee him that 185 that we promised him.
Right. Yeah, no, I do think that you made a great point. I think it did come to the point where they said, you know what, we just want to move this money at this point. Like he's not at some point. I think they tried to get ahead of it. I think they started to see there could be turmoil that arrives in the locker room if you keep this dude here. He stays in the media. He stays getting headlines from saying things on this podcast. He starts to take away from the team chemistry. He's able to make it more about him because let's be real. Maybe Larry Bird and Paul Pierce might be the only people I can think of that they were really like, oh, okay, well, you know, it's cool.
Yeah.
We'll let it go. And Paul Pierce was like almost like because they had nobody else, so
Yeah. Yeah.
you really can't even say. I really can't say that they really supported Paul Pierce. Like he was on that team. It was horrible for a long time before he got hurt.
Yeah.
Before he
Yeah.
got hurt. Like it was him, Antoine Walker, and then it was just him
Yeah.
with a
Yeah.
bunch of horrible draft picks and them get
Yeah.
bumped early in the playoffs. So I don't know what they do out in Boston outside of those earlier dynasties and then what happened with the first big three for real. But you made some great points, man. I didn't even think about it like that. Sir Brown, what is your take on a fellow brother, Jaylen Brown's?
It's hard for Jay Brown to stay out the news.
Listen, man. Listen.
But I got to follow the money on this one. And since the Celtics new ownership took over, they're a private equity firm, and their major thing is slashing costs at any possible way. When they took over the Celtics, they're called the Sixth Street Partners. They set up a preferred shares deal. So anyone that was investor through them, they get paid first on any return investments on the Celtics organization, even if the investment loses money. And then this is where it gets crazy. The TD Garden Arena is really just controlled by the hockey team, the Bruins. So the Celtics owners can't make any of that extra arena money by having ice capades, concerts, or anything like that. So in order to pay themselves, the new shareholders, they wanted to make this deal as fast as possible.
Oh, wow.
Because that's why you didn't get Edgecombe in a return deal. Like, really, let's think about what was the actual move here. We got PG's contract that's going to be set to expire next year and some future second rounders that may convene or probably will just be flipped. Yeah. So this is all just to stay under the luxury apron. We're not trying to actually build a team. We're trying to make shareholders happy.
Sheesh. I feel for I poignant point. So you and your Lamonda matched. It was the money. Uh,
Yep, it was the money.
I never will you ever hear me say this ever in life, but I'm a sports purist. I feel for Celtics diehards in this case because
Yeah, they were hurt.
they love their team and
Hmm.
they do what they do for their team. Bill Simmons, great writer, sports writer, great podcast. He's sick. I saw a little kid on. I don't know if you guys saw it.
Yeah,
A kid
I
on
seen
social
it.
media crying with his Jalen Brown. No, my
Hmm.
favorite player. I'm going
Yep.
to miss you. And it's sad because sports, the business of sports, is greatly impacting sports. And it's crazy because the NBA itself was started by hockey arena
Well, yeah.
owners. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's irony that it should come back to play full circle that this is what's impacting the NBA owners because they're like, man, we're not making all that extra money. Well, if you got money like that, go build another arena somewhere else
Right. Right. Most definitely.
and pack it with other events and draw that from the hockey so that you can feel. I believe in Boston. If you built an arena in another place and you
They
had
will come.
concerts and different high school basketball events and AAU, I believe they can make that money back in Boston.
They can.
I do believe they can. This is unfortunate. This reminds me of what happened in Dallas with Luca. That's
Yeah.
what
Yep.
happened while Luca got traded. People missed that point. He got traded because it was new ownership came in there and they said, "Hey,
Uh-huh.
we're not paying this
Teammates.
all of
Yep.
this money. Like we need to get some money in return." And there's like the NBA said, "You know what? We're gonna give you the number one pick," and that's what
Mhm.
that was crazy. So let's see if Boston ends up not being as good this year, and then ends up with a top three pick. Because if that happens, oh my gosh, we know something fishy in
They
the water.
just for that, for getting Paul George, Boston ended up getting two first round picks and two second round picks.
Yes,
But it's a simple fact, like that team still ain't gonna be the same without Jalen Brown. Okay, you got Paul George and you got Jason Tatum. Okay, but they're not gonna be able to take that team to the playoffs. And then on top of that, you got with two first rounds, two second rounds. I mean, who you really? I mean, even who you gonna draft? Are you gonna draft them and then ship Jason and Paul out to build around your two first round and two second round picks? Like, what are y'all just dismantling that Boston team? Which are gonna go tear it down to build it back up? That's not how it goes. You build around what you got.
that's what it looks like they're gonna do. And if you know, like I know, we can get halfway through the season and Paul George and Jason Tatum could be out. I don't wish that on them, but that's the reality of injury in the NBA today. Like, and Boston would love it because they'd say, "Hey, we still try to compete with this roster, and the NBA is going to give us something in response because we had hurt players."
Right, right.
And listen, man. Listen, man. The NBA is just looking bad these days.
It's crazy.
Speaking of the NBA looking bad, we gotta go to one of our classic topics of hip hop, man. This breaks my heart to actually think about this. The 90s, you can even say late 80s, 90s, early 2000s, we would get hip hop projects with at least 14
Mm-hmm.
songs on there. They would
Mm-hmm.
have classic
That's it.
songs. You're gonna get at least seven hot joints on there. The other
Mm-hmm.
joints would be so personal that they end up really being the theme songs of your life because they
Mm-hmm.
were different parts and maybe your urban come up or just a song that you could grow up and say, you know what, this song is me, this embodies me as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Today, it seems like there has been a trade-off for hit great filled albums with just good music, 14 songs to the, remember it was 3 verses back then. Now we doing 2 verses.
Too.
Songs are like 2 minutes if that.
Mm-hmm.
You might get 10 to 11 songs on an album, and you need something for TikTok.
Yep.
Are the days of the classic album in hip hop gone, Lamonda?
I think it is. And just to hear me out on this, like I remember, and I was just telling this to a male friend of mine. I remember anticipating going to get the new Jada Kiss album, the new Dipset album, the new when G Unit came out with their album. I remember running to Kmart to go get my CD because I can get it for $10, and then playing it for you gotta play it for a week straight because you might hear you gotta listen to it the first day because you want to see what's all on it, and then the second day you really tune in and listen to it to see what songs is gonna be the songs you're gonna play for the whole summer that's gonna be in rotation. Like I also remember like when Thug Motivation 101 came out, every car that passed you in the street was playing Jeezy nonstop. From the first song to the last song on the
Yeah.
album. There was no skipping. Everybody, you rushing trying to beat your homeboys to be the first one to know all the words on the
Yes.
album, word for word.
Yes.
And now we don't get that. We don't get that type of music anymore. Like you can't you really but I think it's more as like these artists now they're trying to today, keep up with today because it's a new generation of people listening to music now. So for them to get a snippet of their song on TikTok and everybody making a dance with it, I get is now giving these artists validations that at least I got one hit.
Spin that.
Spin that. Yeah.
But why? But you know why? What I gotta ask you because you made some great points. On top of that, why would they be chasing that? Considering the music before them is still what it is because people made solid music. Why wouldn't you just make good music that people can figure out how to put it on TikTok or how to make it viral on their own and make it their own experience and their own thing?
Because it's these what I call it, Gen Z, the Gen Zers.
Mm.
If it ain't NBA Young Boy or Chief Keef, it is they don't want to listen to it. They don't want to listen to it.
But Chief Keef and NBA YoungBoy, I think they're capable of making solid projects. And those guys, I think they are. I think that the fan base has made it microwave. So they like we got to
Yeah,
give the fan base what they
fan
want.
base. Yeah,
But I think all of them dudes are capable of putting together thought provoking music because they write from their experiences. It's just
hmm
pretty much how they put it together.
yeah.
And how they put the substance together and how they layer it. The demand is just different, man. You look,
It is crazy,
you made some great points.
and I miss it too. Like I miss authentic hip hop.
Yeah, no, seriously, seriously. Sir Brown, our resident hip hop aficionado himself, Encyclopedia Brown. This has got to be a heavy topic for you. What do you think about the microwave version of what's going on now with hip hop versus the era that we grew up listening to, creating the music, the soundtrack music, the theme music of the life? What do you think has happened here?
I think it's a twofold issue at best. First problem is that the labels changed their model and they don't want to invest the time anymore into someone putting together a concept album, putting together a project. They want the quickest turnaround, and they don't care about you making the foreground. They want you to be background music. So that way you're in the grocery store, a gym playlist, and that's how they make their revenue, just constantly playing with no one actually listening.
Woo. That's a good point.
The other issue is we're seeing the product now of the first generation of musicians, quote unquote, that are in the limelight that didn't have a music or arts program. These are the results of people that, they're one of the first things that are slashed is always music and arts. So these are majority now self-taught people. If it didn't come from a family member, they figured it out on their own, which beyond impressive when you want to break that down. But that's why you're not getting real horns or anything like that. They didn't experience that. So you're getting samples of samples that may or may be cleared. And that's where you're getting the microwave music because the algorithm's set up for the best 15 seconds. So you have 15 seconds to convince a computer you're worthy, not the people. And remember, Chuck D, when we were growing up, music was the CNN of the ghetto.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Seriously. And what you just said is the most poignant point is the fact that they being the record labels, they don't want to go through the lifespan and process of artist development no more.
I was just about to say that. There's no more artist development.
They want people who are already viral, that already have a built-in fan base. Because remember, with artist development, we also have to spend more marketing dollars to make you relevant, and we have to train you to be better. We're raw talent, and we're developing it, and therefore, but this is the thing that's crazy is that the artists are still getting a smaller pie in the situations. Like you would think that they come to the game now with a fan base, with a sound, with all of this stuff. You would think, excuse me, their contracts would be better now. But when we look at these 360 deals now, their contracts look like they're worse.
Yeah.
Because back in the days, if you did an album when you were doing music, of course they wanted 1,000% on the music. But if you went to go do a movie, that was on you. You got that money. They weren't. But now, if you do a commercial, you do a movie, you do anything, that contract says we have the right to get a percentage of everything that you do. I think the business of music has taken over the integrity and the quality of the version of hip hop that we grew up loving and listening to, and it's sad, man.
It is. It's very sad.
It's sad because what my guy Q-Tip said back in Check the Rhyme, record companies are shady, so kids watch back and think they smoke crack. Listen, he said that. He said that. Look how long ago that was.
Yeah.
They were saying that back then. I think we were fortunate enough that there were some execs in there that somehow cared about the quality and integrity of music at that time. And it wasn't just a money grab. So some of the stuff that we love today was able to seep through there. But even with some of our favorites, they were forced to make records and sounds that they didn't necessarily want to make.
Most definitely.
But there was a balance at that time. There was a balance at that time. LL came up with the formula. He was like, you gotta have a club joint. Gotta have a joint for girls. Gotta have a joint for the street. Like, that was really like the format that he created, that Def Jam created, that was the thing. And you fell within that, and then whatever else you wanted to put on the album, you did that. But now, I literally think that just TikTok, like whatever can be trendy. Say the coolest thing that you can possibly say. So we know, spin that. No matter how ridiculous it is, no matter how degrading it is to your community, to females, to get whatever, it does something. And what do y'all think about India Irene? and her comments on that on spin that what's the girl Young Miami song? Did y'all hear about India Ari saying pretty much like she's kind of disappointed that people are supporting that?
Yeah, I think I see. It's I say it is. I mean, I agree with her, especially with the younger generation of these young girls listening to that. Basically, they're taking that words and basically trying to find somebody that's gonna spin that. Go out if you ain't got it, go boost it. And they want their men to have go yards, even if it only got $2 in it. At least it looks like you got some money in there. Look, but it's just like I don't know. But you can also see the difference between how Young Miami make music and how JT make music. You can see the difference in their artistry
Right.
with the music that they put out. But going back to what you were saying about the artist development and stuff like that, I can honestly say that Cardi really put that artist development into her albums. Like she was having an interview with somebody. And, oh, she was on the Joe and Jada podcast, and she sat down and she made sure that her album had the club, had the multicultural song, that had the hood song, that her music can be in all genres, and she said she really wanted to make her album do that. So I can say that she is one artist that still wants that artist development and to make sure that she has something that everybody can listen to in just one genre.
Yeah, no, seriously, and I honestly I owe Cardi an apology because when she first came out, I didn't. I was like, man, she's not a rapper. I think she sounds horrible. And to your point, we saw artist development happen in real time with her.
Yep.
We got to see somebody who wasn't first natured a music person, a artist, a rapper. She developed into not only a rapper but a great entertainer.
Entertainer. Yes.
And you have to salute and appreciate her for doing that, especially when you look at the younger generation that's coming behind her.
Hmm.
Care nothing about that. They just want to do whatever they can do to go viral, to get some clicks, to get a couple change, just to be on stage and get a couple dollars, and they'll fizz out. They don't
Hmm.
realize that the good music, if you make good music, it can
People
outlive
gonna listen.
you.
Yeah, most
It,
definitely.
it'll outlive you. And when you're no, this is why the people we grew up to can now get still do Vegas residencies
Yep. Yep.
because it wasn't just click music. It was good
It
music.
wasn't.
Past them actually being signed to those labels, people bought them.
Mm-hmm.
It bought them. So at the end of the day, any other entity that sells shows, does promotion, says, you know what? You got a fan base. Whether you're on radio right now or not, you still got a fan
Still
base.
got a fan base.
I don't know if this generation is going to be able to do
No,
what the older generation is able to do now.
nah.
Like go to Turkey and Germany and Spain
Yeah,
and do hip hop
I
and,
don't see it.
and want to hear hip hop.
I could never imagine Jeezy and Gucci Man having a Vegas residency with a symphony.
Right.
Never, we could never imagine that. But that go back to what you're saying. The people that we grew up listening to that had that artist development still can be irrelevant with the music that they made at that time because they still have that fan base.
Yep. It's listen, man. We gotta get together, hip hop.
Yeah.
Is the NBA losing its value with all the different teams winning championships? Are the dynasties a far thing of the past? Basketball purists are sick. You're not seeing your traditional teams Shout out to the Knicks for actually making it this year because they are one of the first teams ever created in the history of basketball. So it's good to see them. But it looks like all of our classic teams are not doing classic things. Look at the Lakers. Look at that roster they have. It's
Oh my
disgusting.
God.
Look at the Celtics. Look at what they're doing. It's disgusting.
Disgusting. Yeah.
Lamonda, do you think dynasties are past and a thing of the past in the NBA? We were just talking about the money play in the NBA. Do you think it's a past, or do you think that just like everything else, it'll rotate back around?
Um, I think it may be a thing of the past with everything that has been going transpiring in the NBA, where you got 1 minute someone's going here, someone's going to the Lakers. Oh, I take that back. Now they're going to the 76ers. I take that back. Now they're going to Miami. It's just like everybody trading for trades now. It's like trade for trade. Trade for trade. You give me two of your players, I give you two of my players. Or no, never mind. I give you one of my players so I can get two first round picks. It's like I don't know. It's just like the sports. The sports is just it. You don't know if they're coming or going now. And then they want to hold on, and then they want to hold on to something and try to build around it to make sure that everybody's legacy is cemented. That's not how basketball should work. You should your showmanship should cement your legacy.
Mm.
If you playing on the shittiest team in the NBA or you playing on the most talented team in the NBA, your legacy should be cemented on the things you did in your time in the NBA. When you look back at it, are you going to be able to be like, I came and did what I need to do to cement my legacy? Like for me personally, like I think that's why Michael Jordan is still going to be irrelevant because his legacy is cemented by the things he did while he was on the Bulls.
Right.
Even when he left and came back, he just upped that legacy even more when he came back. And then on top of that, and when he went to Washington, the Wizards, the little time he was there and the legacy he made with the Wizards. Can we honestly say that LeBron legacy is cemented for real, for real?
He's a product of this new era. He's
Yeah.
he's a product of this new era, and I'd hate to say, but it seems like everywhere he's gone, at some point, which is sad to say, the organization stop appreciating him.
Yeah.
And at the end of every stint that you've seen him on every single team, it was almost like the organization said, "You've outstayed your welcome, and we're ready for you to go. We've gotten as much ticket sales as we wanted. We've sold
Hmm.
as much jerseys as we wanted. And LeBron, you can leave now." Like the
Yeah.
Lakers
He's
did
like a
everything they could this offseason to say, "Hey man, we're gonna spend up all the money. You want to take this You want to take this 2 million? Yeah.
right.
You don't want to take 2 million? Just get out, because that's all we got. That's all we got. We
He,
signed."
he's he's depreciating like a car. They tell you when you buy a new car and you drive it off the lot, it loses its value. Everywhere he goes, he's losing his value. You're depreciating like a car.
Yes, no, that's a fact. That's a fact. Jess, great points, Lamonda. NBA dynasty is a thing of the past, or do you think it will spin back around like everything it has?
Well, only 29 other squads that never won the NBA Cup and Larry O in the same season would even ask a question like that.
Mm.
But reality, dynasties are essentially over, and the owners fought for this. They wanted parity, basically to prevent billionaires like Steve Ballmer from doing whatever they wanted, regardless of any salary cap or restrictions in place. It's a cartel, and the cartel is self-regulating itself. The fans are the ones who suffer.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, as a whole product, this allows all fan bases to have hope of winning it all, But most importantly, the owners can sell tickets and merch for 41 home games in every city because every team has team revenue sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a business play.
Yeah.
It's a business play, and I think that the way the NBA is going, including in this new format, I don't know if you guys heard about it, that they're testing in summer league, where no matter how many where you are, so if you're shooting a three and you get fouled, you get one free throw. If you make the one free throw, it counts for 3 points. If you're going up
Oh
for a
Lord.
shot and you get fouled, shooting a layup, a dunk, or whatever, a jump shot, and it's in the 3 point line, and it's two free throws you would normally get, one will equal two. What is that doing to the stats now? So now when somebody, you literally may have a season these upcoming years, if they transition this over to the regular NBA, somebody might shoot 99% from the free throw line one year
Yeah.
because of this new form. You're shooting less than half of the amount of free
That's
throws you used to shoot. They're taking the complication out of the game. Why don't you just give them remote controls so they can dictate the velocity of the ball and give them jump zones so they can jump off trampolines on different spots on the court. Why don't we just turn this into NBA Jam at this point? Like,
yes, might as well. And now we're not talking about the new one. We talking about the one that was made for Nintendo.
yes, Adam Silver, when I say he got the motto and he's done horribly with it, like I,
I don't know.
I
It's
don't,
sad.
I really don't know what Adam Silver. I know he's about the money grab. I get it because he definitely falls in this. Definitely falls into our next topic. What do you guys think about? Because this, I always thought this was going to be a problem, and it seems like a problem when you see what's going on with Malik Beasley, and you see a lot of other guys and coaches. Who they had Chauncey Billups up there. They had Damon Jones. Is the legal sports betting hurting viewership and the integrity of professional sports, namely the NBA? But do you think that all of this gambling, underdog, and all of these sites that's putting together these bets and stuff, prop bets and all of this stuff, the under, the over, they used to be just a Las Vegas thing that was taboo.
Yeah.
Do you think that it is hurting the actual product and integrity of the game? Like the game is being shifted towards betting concepts instead of just being on the integrity of the actual sports themselves. What you think, Lamonda?
I think I think it's gonna come. It's coming down to that. Like and there's no more integrity anymore because everybody making sure that their parlays ain't getting busted
Hmm.
and trying to. I would hate to say it that a player betting on another team out there sports shape. I mean shaving points and stuff like that. So again, their parlays ain't busted. It's just like I kind of wish that like the gambling thing was just like you said, just stayed in Vegas. You only can do it in Vegas and stuff like that because now you got all these different different casinos that got sports betting and all that kind of stuff like that. Like that's like big money. Like you even got the celebrities sitting on the sideline talking about I just betted 20 million on the finals. I just won 20 million because of the such and such team won the finals. It's just like it's the it's just like everything else. It's hard to just watch it and see um how everything is playing out now. And it just be interesting when everything hits rock bottom and everybody just standing around looking at each other and time. Now you point fingers like you did it, you did it, you did it. So yeah,
Right. No, seriously. And the one thing that I hate, because there has to be a fall guy, because they know that some of everybody's on the take, and I hate
Mhm.
that Malik Beasley had to be the guy that's not the superstar, the guy that needs every single dollar.
Mhm.
He happened to be the one that you want to put a magnifying glass on, and you point out that he's shaving points, he's
Good
doing this,
point.
he's doing it.
Mhm.
Because if you want to be real, I believe some of everybody has been on the take with this stuff for a while.
Yeah. Definitely.
But it's gotten out of hand to the point where they're like, all right, we got to get somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody got to be something, so that we can bring somebody to the forefront, and just so we can act like we're actually eliminating all
Eliminating. Yeah.
cheaters, so that you guys can feel safe about betting, because these guys that are cheating, we're getting them out of here. But everybody
Right.
else you see, they're legitimately playing basketball. So when you watch the aged Dallas Mavericks beat the Miami Heat in the finals with LeBron
Right.
James guarded by Jason Terry and Jason Kidd, don't think nothing about that.
The right.
Don't think nothing about that. Like
Right.
that had nothing to do with nothing. LeBron James couldn't do anything against them. Like there was nothing that he could have done with Jason Terry and Jason Kidd on him. Like we're just not going to do
Going.
that. Like
Right.
it's just, to me, it's just been more of a thing now that it's publicized, but I think it's always existed in professional sports, and they've always used somebody. Look at Pete Rose. He can't even get in the goddamn Hall of Fame in baseball because they're talking about he was
He
betting
was.
on his own
Better.
damn game.
Yeah.
You have players taking goddamn steroids and you worried about him betting on a game?
Exactly.
It's
Exactly. It's
Jack,
just
what you
crazy.
think about it?
Man, they want to have it both ways because they're definitely down on integrity. According to the latest NBC News poll, 63 of Americans fear that some aspect or the whole game is rigged.
Woo,
Look. Yeah.
that's serious.
But viewership
Yeah.
is higher than it's ever been because bettors are watching multiple games and then they're watching individual stats.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I understand.
Actual game numbers are up. Wow, I thought viewership was down. It's actually up because of better.
Yeah. Look, my brother, he got the game on the TV. Then he got one game on the phone. Then he got another game on the tablet. That's why we call. That's why we call him Billy the Bookie. Like,
Billy the Bookie.
why? Right? Why do you got 7 games on all the like? I mean, all your devices because you sitting here making sure that your parlay ain't messed up. It's just crazy.
Listen, leave Young Buckets alone, man. Call him my guy, Billy the Bookie. Oh, man.
That this my little brother, Billy
Oh,
the
this
Bookie.
your little brother. This ain't Joe.
It ain't Joe. It's my little brother. Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, man. That's tough.
And
Yeah.
that's the issue to their marketing too. They're not worried about getting us. They're going after the little ones.
Right.
The same way back in 1909, baseball put its trading cards and packs of cigarettes and tobacco.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
This is the new big tobacco because all the betting apps look like a mini casino game that you can play on your parents' phone or on your own tablet.
Yeah.
And looks harmless. They make it look
Yeah.
harmless.
Harmless. Yeah.
It's almost like you see people lose their life in their shirts. You say with the stock exchange,
Mm-hmm.
they looked harmless to people. They're like, oh yeah, put it all on this, put it all on that. Next thing you know, you in the negative. All your money's
Right.
gone.
Yep.
Straight to
Right.
places. Like,
And with the blame on you, you should be a responsible gamer, even though this has been marketed to you since the second you walked into an arena.
Right.
right. And then how do you tell me, as the athlete, who I got an agent, I got a trainer, I got a this, I got a that, I got a that, I got the $1 million tax bracket. All of these things are being taken out of my check before I even touch it. How do you tell the athlete to not be enticed by that? Well,
Right.
all I got to do is do a couple different things within a game that could fall within the flow of a game, and I could make hundreds of thousands of dollars every single night.
Right.
Just knowing who's injured on your team.
How do you, Right. Just telling somebody that. Like inside
Yeah,
trading.
yeah,
Just telling somebody that. Hey, so and so it may not play, he may play like we like that.
You know,
I
but
just think it's
this is the
garbage.
league marketing. They want to market for the individual experience instead of our collective fan experience. Because everyone at the game is now not rooting even for the home team or the away team. They're worried about the backup center having plus or minus 6 rebounds.
yeah. They at the game, sports baby.
So the coach is even under the fire to put the backup center in.
Right.
Like even the coach could be on the take now.
Yeah, hell yeah. Especially if he got the backup center on his parlay. Most definitely he gonna put him in.
Yeah, man. I think it's gotten out of hand. I think the business of sports have taken over during our lifetime, and I hate it because, hey, man, it could have always been. You know, they used to say the mob was controlling a lot of things allegedly,
They were.
but it's different when you have control and interest that you can actually see. and,
Right.
and you can see the games being shaped. You can see who more than likely is going to be in your finals. You can see who's going to be the matchups if they're healthy. You can see where it is. It's just a travesty. It's a travesty. Lastly, how do you guys feel about Janet Jackson? Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. Wearing a Tupac Amaru Shakur shirt at the BET Awards after, if you remember when Tupac was alive, he did quite a few interviews. And one of the interviews he did, he said, "Hey, I thought me and Janet was cool. You know, I thought we had a good relationship when we was on set outside of her making me take that HIV test to kiss her. And then we left the set. I called her like, hey, let's go. I'm going to hang out with Janet. Doo-doo-doo. This number has been disconnected." That was his account while he was alive of Janet Jackson. How does today roll around and she had her version of a do-rag on and a Tupac Shakur shirt?
Mhm.
What did you think about that, Lamonda?
So I did a little bit background on this. Is during the filming of Poetic Justice, um, I guess there was a lot of clashing because of their personalities. We seen um, how Janet growing up, how she was like shy and timid in front of the camera and stuff like that, and then we seen how Tupac was when he got with. I won't say he was how he was when he got with Death Row versus how when he was with Digital Underground. But yeah, so we see how his personality was. So they said that their personalities really clashed on set, and then they with her being, I guess she was very quiet and reserved. So Tupac called her a square. But I guess as it progressed, as their, I guess I say business movie relationship progressed or whatever like that, I guess it became cool or whatever like that. But it was said that when Janet after he passed, Janet did an interview and basically was like that he was funny and outgoing and that she missed him. So I I believe she was just trying to pay homage to him because she really probably when she thought about it really like he wasn't that bad because um he had he if he's not a Gemini he might as well be a Gemini because he had two sides of himself to that we see some of it and then he'll flip and be somebody else, so yeah.
So you think in hindsight, she looked back at it and said, being maybe what I experienced later, and irony, a Janet Jackson topic just popped up on my phone. Um, Shout out to Wayne and Garth. Um, you think it's just her progression of an adult in hindsight, looking back and saying, maybe he wasn't that bad. Maybe I
Yeah.
overlooked it. Maybe I didn't have enough life experiences. Maybe
Period.
I didn't
Mhm.
know enough people in that light. And then fast forward, she's met more, maybe more people in the hip hop culture. Maybe she's been exposed to more urban type dudes. Maybe
Mhm.
she's had more experience to be able to look and say, you know what? He actually was kind of respectful now, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Considering like how he's portrayed and a lot of things that came about before his death. And then now she may look at it and say, I actually didn't experience none of that with him. Like I was used to these
Exactly.
R&B dudes just being real quiet and shy for the most part and respectable. And this dude was just outspoken, and I just wasn't used to this.
Yeah. I
But
think there
now
was
she
a
appreciated it.
I think that's what it was because um, she was. I would say that with her father, I believe that she probably was sheltered.
Mm,
Like outside, she probably didn't have any relationships with male figures outside of her brothers
right.
and immediate family. So yeah, I mean, meet somebody like Tupac may have been a bit overwhelming because she never experienced that type of energy before. But with his time, I mean, even though we were pretty young at the time or whatever like that, like you basically, if you would sit down and look at his interviews and stuff, you can basically feel his radiance come out of your television screen.
Mhm.
So, like you said, she probably thought about it and been like, you know what, I maybe was being too serious about it instead of just looking at it from the outside in and really taking in the personality that I had right in front of me. Like he probably genuinely just wanted to be real cool and be friends and probably pick her mind or he probably found like being around her gave him a little bit of peace. You know how you be around some people and their aura just gives that peaceful aura. So
Oh, that was very insightful. I didn't even think about it like that because I was about the machine gun or before that. So, you know what? You made me be subtle. Man, now that I have a chance to think about that in a different light because of you, Miss Jackson, you all right, man. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a pass, man. That's what you think about the whole ordeal.
Well, get the bazooka out because I heard this all goes back to Poetic Justice director John Singleton. He
Rest in
was
peace.
crushing on Janet just as hard as Pac was and
Mm,
said, hey, wait, is this Mr. I Get Around? Shout out to Shock
mm,
G. And he's
mm.
the one who, according to him on Drinks Champ, said if it was an on-set joke that, you know what, I don't want him kissing my actress like that. I'm going to make him get an AIDS test.
Oh wow.
oh wow.
Oh wow. That came from John Singleton, not Janet.
Yes. And then
Rest in
John
peace,
used that
John.
as publicity when he leaked it out because what he was working with at the time, controversial, two unproven actors that are musicians, which no one was doing in 1993.
Wow. You just dropped a bomb here on Crush Mike. The
Right.
whole time I'm thinking it was Janet Jackson. I think a lot of the world was told that it was Janet Jackson and not that
Janet
it was
Jackson.
John Singleton. That is very interesting. And I think if my sources are correct, she was dating Q-Tip at the time. So there was a whole lot of different controversial of different things going on there as to what may have made the strain on that relationship when you think about it. When you put all those
Hmm.
things together, you got a director that's lusting over Janet Jackson. You got the fact that she has an actual boyfriend in hip hop, Q-Tip, and then you got Tupac, the over sexualized, the simply charismatic guy pulling up in there and doing what he does. And I'm sure she probably had a lot of inner conflict where she couldn't embrace that relationship because again,
Yeah.
she's dating Q-Tip, so she can't just be like, "Hey, Pac," because she's clearly a loyal person.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, she has to keep up her image.
Yeah.
So
Most definitely.
she just can't haul off and just start hanging out with Tupac.
Yeah.
Like, and then based upon what you're saying, when you add the John Singleton factor in there, rest in peace, John Singleton, but that was real cowardly of him,
That
letting
is.
her take that on the chin as the person who was responsible for that HIV, because that was like a thing that a lot of us, while we felt some way about her at that time, like, you making an
Mm-hmm.
HIV test, like HIV test, like really?
Yep. He did refuse. He did refuse it. He did. He didn't take it. But you have to. You have to look at it too. Be like, Janet Jackson might have a thing for bad boys because she dated Bobby Brown crackhead herself too.
Did
Well,
she?
he was a crackhead at that time. Yes, she dated Bobby
I didn't even
Brown.
know that. I didn't even know that. And rest in peace, Whitney. I heard that it was more Whitney who got Bobby on that cocaine, but that's controversial. Um, but I didn't even know that. That's so
Yes,
Janet Jackson has had some, let's say, interesting guys
Kristen.
that she
Mm-hmm.
dated, including the little mouse himself, Jermaine Dupri,
Jermaine
who
Dupri.
said
Yeah.
that Clive Davis should have gotten saluted at the BET Awards, which was crazy considering Clive Davis's history within the pop and R&B culture. How many people he has literally raped. We won't touch that. But it speaks to a great understanding that Janet Jackson has lived many lives before us that I don't think we can even
Mm-hmm.
understand as the people on the outside. And it's a lot of these people get bad raps, unfortunately,
Yeah.
for different things that for the journalistic endeavors at that time, somebody might write something in Word Up magazine,
Random relationship. Yeah.
Source, or whatever, because they're trying to further their career. So they got to write the salacious story, and then whoever told them is trying to keep a secret or
Yeah.
further their career. So they tell it from this angle instead of that one, and that one makes that person be seen in a bad light, and they like, hey, it wasn't for me. And because that
Yeah.
little journalist who wants to make it, they can't say John Singleton was actually the person who. It's easily just to say that
So that Janet.
Tupac was had to, and because HIV was a thing, it wasn't like
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't have benefited Janet if that was the case. So she wanted to be in the movie, so they let it go. So you guys made some great points, man. Like I owe Janet Jackson an apology now. Miss Jackson, you're not nasty. Oh man. Like, yeah, listen, man. And this is what happens a lot of time, and this is why I think Crush Bikes was a great platform because we get down to the bottom of these things. To you guys, great diligent research of these topics because it's only through digging through the tea leaves, as they say, that you can get this kind of valid information that didn't exist back in the days. Because
Yeah.
what were you going to the library back in the days? What were you gonna do? Like you didn't
Right.
have the ability to have the proper sources to get the information in a timely manner to even have this information. And people lied so much there. It was a lot of word of mouth stuff where
Yes,
now
it was.
things are fact checked on top of a fact checked on top of a fact check on top of a fact check. And it put in great databases that a lot of people verify this information. So listen, man, this is why I tell people I love you guys. Y'all just do amazing work. Every trip, man. Y'all extensive. The research that y'all put together this week. Not to say y'all don't do it every week, but this particular week is just amazing, man. Lamonda, tell the people where they can find you at Mega Money Takes.
You can find me on Facebook with my first and last name, Lamonda Young. You can find me on Instagram at It's Your Girl Young, and I'm also on Snapchat, Monta Baby.
Jess, where you at?
On Twitter, SO Jessero, and Instagram, Knickerbocker Please.
Listen,
And always find me with that fresh black magic, baby.
oh my God, here he goes. There he goes. Like, what's funny is you said what you said about Twitter the other day. I get back on Twitter. I had like one mention after not being on there for like a year. I'm like, you can see why I don't get on this. I get off of threads for like one day. I got like 60,000 mentions. People like, hey, what about that take where you said I don't agree and I like it? And then I think Threads is just taking over for me, man. Like I
Yes,
actually
I
get
had.
in there and you can actually talk to people and whether you were talking to them or not,
Yes,
they
I
they
had to cut
they'll
into
give you
somebody on thread.
yeah they'll give you an opinion and whether you agree or not, I think just to not feel like the tree in the rainforest that fell.
Yes,
I really can be I really can say I endorse Threads. Listen, man. Shout out to y'all, man. As always, you can check us Crush Mics at Crush Mics on everything, TikTok to everything. I'm at Korey Buckets on everything. That's a K, not a C. It's different. Don't blame me. Blame my mother. Um, but we out here, man. Until the next time, my great people, be great.